What I've come to discover lately is no one has it figured out. Multi-billionaire entrepreneur, he doesn't have it figured out. That your role model, he doesn't have it figured out. He has learned to live one day at a time, making decisions and trying to take the right choices, one step at a time. Hence, you can celebrate him today. The reason why you celebrate him today really is the bandwidth of experience he has gathered over the years. But I tell you this, if you look at his life, probably when he was much younger, you would have written him off. Hi, Michael Ogunshola here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Many thanks for my returning subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, this is Peak Performance Academy. I believe we are created for peak performance, and my duty is to equip us on that journey, right? So when you look at humans, something that gets me fascinated about humans is this judging mentality we have. There is something about human nature. There is a weakness we have generally that it's a subtle weakness. Sometimes if you are not even living a conscious life, you will not know it's a weakness. And it is that desire to judge people, to put people down, to make a case for yourself. It is something that we do unconsciously. There is a way you will look at somebody that is not doing what you are doing or does not believe what you believe, and you will say he is wrong. Or somebody is trying to achieve a particular goal, but maybe his approach is slightly different from yours. For instance, I was in a conference, with Apostle Femi Lazarus, one of the great men of God, that is really making waves in recent times, Apostle Femi Lazarus. And in that meeting, somebody asked a question about method. How that if the method of bringing the gospel is drowning the gospel, what do you do? And I can tell you from that question that this person really is coming from a place of some method are right, some method are wrong. Let's not use wrong method to preach the gospel. And guess what Apostle Femi Lazarus responded? Apostle Femi Lazarus said, you know what? Forget about the method that you consider wrong. Let's focus on the message. That even if the method to you seems wrong, what is the motive and what is the message that is being passed across? I'm just imagining another way you can relate with this idea of what I'm sharing with you, because the essence is fundamentally what I'm sharing with you is, by all means, allow people to practice and do whatever they believe connect them to God. It is not just even allowing people to do whatever they believe connect them to God. It is more like allow people to live their life, as long as the choices they are making is not impacting you directly. Don't be anyone's judge. The funny thing about life, you have your own real life issues to deal with. Young people think that everyone is thinking about them. As you grow, you will realize that no one is thinking about you really. Everyone is dealing with life issues. The person, if at all, people are gossiping about you and talking about you, guess what? It is for a moment. Because after that moment, life will happen to them that will make them to realize that their own life issues has not been attended to. It might be, if he's a family person, that he might get a call that his son needs an attention. It might be that his wife will tell him that she needs this and she needs that. It might just be something critical that would need his own attention, and that is life. Life is a series of events, good and bad, negative and positive. It's like, a journey. There are some parts that are smooth, some parts are rocky. Part of what I'm saying is cultivate the habit of accepting people, not even tolerating people. I always say this: humans are the most complicated species on earth. The complexity in a single human being is mind-boggling. A human being is so independent and powerful that God, the creator of the universe, and even the creator of the human being himself, said he will no longer strive with man. That God himself does not even have control over the man. then who are you to control another man? You know what? Give up your desire to control and be in charge of people. Let people live, and let people love, and let people experience. You know, I must confess that it's difficult, particularly when you are in a place of leadership, to learn to accept people. What you will want to do naturally is to want to shape people to fit into a particular mold. But I'm telling you, if you want to live a life of consciousness and awareness, you must learn to accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. Because even your version of how an ideal human should be is not necessarily God's version of it. I was sharing with my wife that, you know what I've come to discover lately? What I've come to discover lately is no one has it figured out. That your big Geo, he doesn't have it figured out. Multi-billionaire entrepreneur, he doesn't have it figured out. That your role model, he doesn't have it figured out. He has learned to live one day at a time, making decisions and trying to take the right choices, one step at a time. Hence, you can celebrate him today. The reason why you celebrate him today really is the bandwidth of experience he has gathered over the years. But I tell you this, if you look at his life, probably when he was much younger, you would have written him off. Okay, let me tell you about a true life story. 48 Laws of Power. Many of us know that book. Some people don't talk about it. Some people say it's negative, it's bad, it's whatever. But like, who care less if it's negative or bad. I just know that there are a few principles that I've learned from that book. And even the author himself. The author, Robert Greene, he talked about how he was judged as a failure even till his late 30s. That the book idea came somewhere around his 30s and he began to even articulate it and work towards it for publishing in his late 30s. But guess what? Before he was 38, he had done 50 odd jobs. In his early 30s, before he would travel to Italy, in Rome, where he met the book packager that would help him to come up with the book 48 Laws of Power, he, at the time in his early 30s, was actually living with his mom. Guess what? If you saw him back then, you would have judged him. Because you would not even learn to accept him for who he is. Right? Learn to accept people's originality. Learn to accept people's difference. Learn to accept people's uniqueness. Try to focus on your journey. Let's do what Michael Jackson said. The man in the mirror. Let's do what the scripture says. Remove the log of wood in your eyes before you remove the mud in somebody else's. In my little experience with life, living this way will really help you to have peace. You know, there is that serenity prayer. Lord, help me to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. In these 3 lines is a summary of a peaceful life. Accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let me know in the comment section if you have been faced with a situation where a lot of people are judging you, how you handled it so that others can learn from your experience. Because sometimes some criticism, some judgment, some negative talks, it can really get to us, because not just women are emotional. Every human being have emotion. And some things people say and do can really hurt us. Let me know in the comment section some of the things people have said to you that has hurt you and how you have managed it, so that other people can learn from you and, apply the same. Many thanks.